setting the stage, getting the audience ready, taking them down the path before you drop that bomb. Big part of marketing and sales. And it's something that our fearless leader and his party are failing at, unfortunately. You see, they've tabled a number of bills, which I am sure are great. And I love what I'm hearing in the news so far. But I'm also not loving a few things. And those things are due to lack of communication, lack of clarification, and helping us to understand the purpose, the objective, even the goal of some of these things. People live in fear right now. And if you are not clear, if you don't have clarity ahead of time, if you're not guiding them through the process, they're going to go to catastrophe. They're going to catastrophize. That is where people's heads are at right now because of what's happening to the south, what's happening across the Atlantic. People are stressed and they're on the verge of constant what's happening next and uncertainty of tomorrow. Now, Trump has someone who speaks to the press on a regular basis. Now, of course, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, of course, she lies a lot, but so does Trump, in my opinion. Our government doesn't have someone who talks to the press. And our prime minister is really busy getting stuff done and doesn't have the time to talk to the press. But he does have a cabinet, and he has a cabinet of experienced members of parliament. So where are they? When they table this bill, why do they say so little? Why do they leave it open to criticism and flights of uncertainty and fear to be asked, not only by the opposition, but by media, by those news reporters who are trying to come up with a story? Now, most Canadians are not going to take the time to read the bill. They're busy people, and it's all legalese and kind of hard to understand. So even when I took some time to read Bill C2, it left more questions and uncertainty around what the bill's objective was supposed to be. What is the purpose? Why do we need it? Do these things mean what the opposition and the reporters are saying it might mean? And should I be scared that we're going to be taking an American approach to immigration and border control? These questions should not be coming up in my head if the member of parliament had framed the narrative better, had come up with the story ahead of time to guide Canadians through the process of understanding, why do we need this bill? What is it that is supposed to do? It is not, is it going to look like the American side of the border? Or is it a Canadian version? These are important things to say, but what they need to be doing, and what every storyteller does, whether you are in marketing, sales, advertising, the first thing, first thing you do is listen. But in order to get the right listening, how do you think people go to make sure that they're listening to the right thing? They're asking questions. So these people need to be putting on their reporter hats and asking the questions. What questions could opposition ask about this bill? What questions are reporters going to ask? What do Canadians really need to know? What are they scared of? What's going on in the world around us that might be linked or signal that we're going down a different path? Because we know we can't know everything. There are things that our government is going to have to keep from us for our own safety and security. That doesn't mean that we completely trust our government. Doesn't mean that we completely understand what it is they're trying to do. Because, well, we watch movies. We got the whole reality TV thing going on down in DC. We have wars across the Atlantic, and we're scared. So if an MP is going to table a bill, perhaps they should be getting out in front of reporters more, setting the stage, framing the narrative, helping Canadians understand the answers to those questions that they may ask after the bill's been tabled. Why do we do it backwards? They table the bill, and then all those questions come up that make people scared and wonder, oh, that mustn't be a good bill. Well, Canadians are going to go and read that to find out if it is a good one. Now, the government has to answer all of those questions, and they're not answering it from a place of trust. They're answering from a place of defense. So it's time they played offense. Why am I talking about this? Because this is brand appeal, and why in the world would I be talking about this? What can you learn? What can you as a business learn about how to launch your product or service? How to diffuse a situation or a potential bomb that you may see or you may not, but it could happen. Do you have those contingency stories in place? What are you not wanting your customers to know? What questions do you need to ask your customers? These are important things. Once you start asking the right questions of your customers, and not whether or not they like the color of this or that, but really understand what they need, what are they scared of, what do they desire, what are their dreams, understand what it is they want. You'll have a better understanding of how you can position your marketing and your sales to talk directly to them, resonate with them, and meet those needs so that they buy in. And isn't that the goal? Whether you are the Prime Minister, a member of Parliament, Cabinet Minister tabling a bill, you want buy-in. Buy-in from all of the people voting. You want buy-in from Canadians or Americans or whatever, but you're looking for that buy-in. You're looking to ensure that you're not going to have questions, because one day we're all going to go back to the voting booth. And are we going to remember, we felt like we trusted this person. He had our back. We didn't have to worry about all of this stuff because he was taking care of it. And we knew he was because we trusted him, because we knew what was going on. We had clarity. Or are we going to going, well, yeah, he did all this stuff. We didn't really know what was happening. And then this person said that was bad, and that person said that was bad. So we don't want it to happen. So we're just going to make sure that it stops. And in Canada, we have minority government. I know it's only 3 seats minority, but it's still a minority government. So they need to be really clear on their message. And so do businesses, because you got competition. You got competition of noise. You got competition of products and services, you got competition of branding, image, impressions, and everything else. So to recap, ask questions, listen, get to know your audience, clarify your message by setting the stage, framing the narrative, and making sure that you are addressing the fears, needs, desires of the audience by answering the questions that they have not yet asked. Well, I hope that helps you today. Until next time, PL out.